But we're on the week of recruiting for our 6 weeks to success, week number 3. And it's the SOS binder that we're all putting together. I hope you're all doing this, getting it all. Look at that. Look, she's a star student. Oh, good for you guys. Good for you guys. So just keep getting those things added to your binders. And I already uploaded everything onto the Evernote. So, but don't distract yourself tonight until we're done, because I know you're just itching to look. So tonight's about recruiting. And I wanted to first ask Paula. I'm going to pick on Paula tonight. Pampered Paula. So Paula's team has recruited so much more. They have this momentum going. And so what is it, Paula, that is going on your team? And why do you think there's so much more recruiting going on than you have for quite a while?
I think a lot of excitement has been generated. I can't really put my finger on it, but I think in February, I think I decided to get serious. So I think that's the first thing I would want you all to write down, is that you maybe want to think about getting serious about making a plan. And I knew I could not make a plan I knew I could make a plan for what I wanted. And, but I also knew that my whole team, that I had a plan for my whole team, but I can't make a decision for everyone else. So what I did was I talked to all of my directors to find out what their plan was. And we talked about it for a few weeks, just so that everybody wouldn't throw out a number. And decided, so all my directors got back to me and told me what their number is for the year. And then we decided to break it down into half the year. And and everybody came up with their own plan. And I said, a plan needs to be visual. So all of the directors made a vision board. You can see behind me here, this is the organization's vision board. It's called Shooting for the Stars. And all of the yellow stars are recruits that we had in January, February. The blue are, January, February. March is blue, April's white. I'm getting ready to add another white one. And then May will have pink. But also getting everybody else excited. And so let me break it down for you being consultants. So I got to put my glasses on so I can see what my note here is. I decided what I really needed to do, and what you all might want to think about doing is, first of all, making a plan on what it is that you really want. Now, this needs to be something realistic, not like, okay, I want to have 10 recruits in the next 4 the 4 weeks or something like that. So make a plan, and what do you want to have in your end result? And your end result number needs to be then broken down into, almost like weeks. One of my girls said she wants to have, her first recruit by, let's say, next week, Friday. And, and we talked almost every day, every other day, because, she wanted to be accountable. So who are you accountable to? And what is a short-term goal of yours? And that is what we did. And then I go on the team page every few days, and I add more white stars, and we just keep everyone going. So having an accountability partner is also important. So whether it's with sales or whether it's recruiting, it's make a plan and then know what your end result is, and then break it down into shorter steps. That is kind of what I would say to do. And maybe Tina and some of these other girls can, or Sarah, who's making noises? Is there a rubber duck on the call?
Like squeaking.
Who's got squeaking? It doesn't help. The recording gets so goofy when we have to listen to that. Somebody's squeaking. Is that what you wanted to hear, Claire? I'm not, I come on live. So if you have a team of even 1 or 2 people, if you've got a team page, and your team needs to know what the goal is, and ask each team member. It's one thing for us to say what we want our team goal to be, but you can't come up with a team goal unless you know what each one of them want to do. Because we were working with a lot of volunteers here in our organizations. And it might be nice for you to say, I want to add 10 people on my team, But if your consultants don't want to add anyone, then you're doing it yourself, and then you have to realize if that's doable. So I think working with everybody on your team to find out what their goals are, because we can't do it without everybody.
And I think what I love seeing with your entire organization is that excitement, but seeing it through you and the focus. Because I don't know that it's always been a focus, and now it is focus. Because sometimes our focus is sales, sometimes it's bookings, but whatever you really focus on comes back to you. So who on Paula's team, unless Paula wants to share, is what is it that do you think you changed what you're saying or doing during a show that is creating the growth that you are all experiencing?
Okay, I listened to, I forget her name now, I'm sorry. There's a young gal that spoke about how she really sells the kits and just talks about the kits and throughout the show, getting them for the great product deal. And when they open them up, then they have a friend with them and then they actually want to sell. And also the $100 cards. So we talked about this at our group retreat where you have a deck of cards that has a $100 bill on the back, and you pass those out as people ask you questions, and then what you would do with an extra $200 to $300 or $600 to $700 a month. This week alone, I have 4 possible recruits that I'm working on. So, and I think it's because of that.
Okay, so
talking about Grace Bott. Do you know Grace Bott's video? I put it on the Brockner organization page, and she talks about how she just keeps it simple.
Yep. So she uses a lot of Marna Ross stuff. So I thought when you said young gal, I thought you were talking about Marna.
No, that'd be old girl. Girl.
So, what do you think with Grace Bott? Are you doing the little packages that she talks about, or you're doing it all?
Yeah, I'm doing it all. I'm doing the little packages. I haven't had anyone jump up and grab them. I'm putting the Life Tastes Great flyer in everybody's packet. I'm putting a consultant agreement form in everybody's packet. And they have that all right in front of them. And the kit is right there in front of everybody's packet too. The 3 kits, and then on the back of it is what's in the kit. So I have that all right there in front of them. And a lot of them are taking it with them.
That's awesome.
Claire, I think being intentional too. You know, if you go in intending that this is what's going to go on, and you focus on that. I think being intentional is huge.
That is huge. So we have a lot to cover, but I wanted anybody else who has gone, shared with somebody, or invited somebody to join the business. Anybody want to just share what they said? Just in a one-liner or two-liner.
I had somebody in one of my virtual parties that actually made a comment that she wanted some expensive items, and I just said, well, you could have that if you became a consultant at a really good price. And then she said, well, I was thinking about that, and then we got into that conversation. So
thank you. Awesome. Who else?
I had someone that was really intentional about when I went to pay for something at David's Bridal. I plunked my bag right on top with the Pampered Chef catalog, and she's like, oh, you sell Pampered Chef? And I'm like, yes, I do. And she's like, oh, I want to have a show. I'm like, okay. So that was kind of easy. But then I was kind of cruising. I was kind of going through. She wanted to have a virtual show, and I said that'd be fine. And I said she was just talking to her a little bit, and she said, yeah, I kind of lost all my product in my divorce. She lived somewhere further south, in a different state, and when she packed up her car and left, she could only take so much. And I was like, well, I got to tell you, if you need a lot of stuff, you're probably better off looking at this kit. And so I showed her the kit options. And so when I went back today, And I hadn't gotten her personal number. I just had her work number. And she said she was going to contact me, which was bad. But when I went back today, she was like, yeah, I talked to my husband and we decided that I don't really have time to like do the real consultant thing, but I think I'm going to do like virtual shows and catalog shows. I'm like, oh, okay.
Nice.
So we have a call on Tuesday for that.
So
Good.
you were intentional. Yay. Awesome. All right. Who else? I know some other people. Karen, share what you're doing.
Be on the spot. I'm just really being intentional at my shows. I am giving people the opportunity to ask. Can you hear me?
Louder,
Can you
please.
hear me? Can you hear me?
Now I can. Yeah.
All right. So I'm just being really intentional at my shows, and just giving people an opportunity to ask questions about the business, and and giving them, good answers, but also following up at checkout. Also, you asked a lot of questions. Were you interested in something like Pampered Chef? I'm just really speaking from the heart, a lot about like what Marna says, kind of lower your voice a little bit and just get more of a personal level with them, but just be heartfelt. We know this business is good for all of us or we wouldn't be in it, so why not share it? And so that's pretty much what I'm doing. Just being, as Paula said, more intentional, and knowing that there are people out there who need this, and not hoarding it for myself.
Excellent. I see Marna's on. Should we call on Marna, or is that a different Marna?
That's Marna Perez.
Oh. I thought we're gonna grab her.
Yeah.
Okay, how about one or two more people?
I haven't had anyone agree to join my team yet, but I have been very much more intentional with everyone that I'm communicating with, be it at the full service checkout, people that I'm talking to, or anyone that mentions anything about Pampered Chef with me. I find a way to bring it around to what a joy it's been for my life, and if they're looking for something for theirs.
And I like that word, joy. I've heard joy, what a blessing. I think people really like those soft words that are so heartfelt and meaningful. Thank you, Tina. Anybody else? All right. So we are going to, like I said, there's so many things to share for this. And I wanted to let you know that the company has so many things that we can use on their website. And one of the things that they have are the recruiting cards. So who uses the recruiting cards? So you'll have to shout out because I can't see everybody right now. Anybody? So the recruiting cards are something that for asking, so people can ask, you can ask for information from somebody, and it's just by going through these cards. So the nice thing is the company has them for you to order, or you can print off your own and tell me about yourself. It's easy. We have support, freedom and flexibility, fun, why Pampered Chef. And then they get to choose what is it that intrigues them. So the cool thing about this is all the words are here, all the directions, but they also have a virtual one. And I know Ashley Bulmer, she is going to get together with me, and we're going to record this for you, doing an interview over Zoom. And what it is it brings up everything virtually for you to share with somebody that you're talking to about the business. So that is one thing that both of those are on the Evernote that I posted. All right. The next thing are words to use with recruit leads. And these are things that you just put into your binder because of the time that you might need it. And there's just simple phrases. What were some questions that you had when you looked over the information? You know, sometimes we're just tongue-tied. We don't know exactly what to say. So these are just some really simple words. But what I encourage all of you to do is during your shows, your virtual shows, create that interest. And we'll talk a little bit about that. But it's creating that interest. And then I really encourage you to get on the phone with phone or texting, three-way texting with your director and your lead. Do you do a lot of that, Paula, within your organization?
A three-way texting?
Mm-hmm. Or calls, three-way calls?
I would say no.
Okay. So that's something that we encourage just for the first couple, just so they feel comfortable. And so we'll go from there. This sheet is recruit leads. So what I want you to know is if you have talked to somebody like Mary Lou and Tina, you were talking about maybe this wasn't the right time for somebody, it's really important for you to keep track of who you have talked to. So that's a very, very simple sheet on here, just so you have one place to put all of their information. So if right now isn't the right time, you can ask, is it okay if I follow up with you in the future? And then you have their information. Because otherwise, if you have it on a bunch of Post-it notes or here or there and you don't have a system for that, you won't follow up and it makes it hard. Some people will make a group that they put all of their leads on Facebook. There's so many different ways, but I just find it really nice to have one place to put everybody. And then there's also lead information sheet. So if you do have that opportunity to really sit down and talk with them, it is a place that you can put all about their family, products that they like, you know, the income flexibility. So when you do go back, you can recall personal things about them. And people always love it when we have personal information that we remember about them. Some of the things I put on here were, I love the colors on this. I just think this is so classy. So this would be a great, the apron in 6 sizes. It really brings out the virtual consultant. This is a great slide that you can go ahead and put onto your virtual shows, or even just to message somebody. Either it's texting or sending them a private message. And then a picture with the kits. Here is something that we use, and this one has to be updated. This one on this page, I have a different updated one on my other program. But going ahead, and this is a kit order form. I mean, how non-intimidating is this when it would have the 3 kits on here? Like I said, this is not the updated one, but it does have the 3 kits on here, and people, if they want to give it a try, they can just go ahead and fill this out and bring it up to you at the checkout. How simple is that? Is that scary? No, not at all.
Can you post that one, Claire? Can you post the one you use on the drums, and then I'll get it?
Yes,
okay.
That one will be on the Evernote. I had to do some weird stuff right before I posted this. I also put the career plan chart in here. I think it's always important for you to know what is in it for you, but what's also in it for consultants that you bring in on your team. And as you know, when you start recruiting, you not only are going to be making more income, but you're also going to get some overrides, and you're also going to be getting $30 when they your new consultants qualify. When you're in your first 90 days, you're also going to get Pampered Chef dollars. There's a lot of great bonuses that the company gives you. And I just want you to know, you know, it's great for you to know what you're going to get, but just remember when you share this with others, they still have that same opportunity as you do. So they can earn free products, they can earn everything, and they can have the new friends that you are making too. So I also, sometimes people are thinking, I don't want to share this. That's awkward. Think about every store, every business that has help wanted signs. We just say it out loud. Or when you walk into Quick Trip and, people might have the signs up, help wanted, or they might be asking. And there are people that are paid to be headhunters, to look for other people. So we're nothing weird or different. We're just sharing our business with other people. All right. Whoops. All right. Some of the other things that I have on here is when you do, if you do have an interview. Now, one of the things that Marna, it does very effective. We all love Marna Ross. She's the other queen besides Paula. And the nice thing about Paula is she is so matter of fact. And she does a lot of signing up people right at the show. And so in here, we have the show ending, 3 ways to get products. It's really what Marna does. And when talking about the kit, as Sarah was talking about. And then the cards, I know Karen's been using cards for a couple of years. I've been using those same cards for quite a few years. So they are very, very effective. But if you don't sign somebody right away, we do have the interview questions. And what I've done is I've updated it so it also has virtual questions in there because times are changing. The kit credit coupon. So I want you to be thinking about who's your best host? I just gave you the answer. Who's your best candidate for being a consultant? Who knows? Oh, it's the host. I just gave you the answer. Okay, so it is, those kit credit coupons are very valuable to have, and you can print a couple to a page. And the nice thing about them is it's a visual. I don't know why it won't come up here. It's a visual that you can hand to your host either during the show, that's what Patsy would do, or you can mail it to them separate, or you can put it in their packet. And it is letting them know that as a host, they can use $25 or $50 kit credit, and that's using some of their free dollars to start the business. So instead of $249, they could use their $50 coupon and start for $199. And all they're doing is using part of their free products. Has anybody used that?
Yes, that's what I just put in my host packets, the last 4 that I just sent out.
Okay, awesome. All right, here are the digital interview cards. I'm afraid to bring this up. I'll do it at the end because this computer is a little bit off. Okay, maybe you want to send a separate letter to your host. So you've sent their host packet, and then if you send a share the business letter, it's just something a little bit, it's not in that packet, it's a little bit separate, and what it's doing is it's just drawing more attention. And then the rest are some documents that we have used within our shows. Who will you be? And that is just a different kind of consultants, like we showed you before. But it's something that we put into the binders for each person that we give to at shows. So those are a couple things that we, as our team, uses. And yes, it looks like a lot, but you're not going to be using all of it all at one time. But we want you to have everything at your fingertips that you might need. But the most important thing is asking your host and giving her compliments. I know we have 4 minutes, so I've been looking at this book. It's called Be a Party Plan Superstar by Mary Christensen. I've really been digging out some of my books, and you know what? There's great information in here. I should have read these a long time ago. But they said, your relationship with your host doesn't stop when the party's over. Call within 24 hours and say, thanks for being a wonderful host. Did you have fun? Are you excited about all the wonderful products you earned? I think we did a great job working together. I love that. I want you all thinking about during your show, what are you dropping for? What seeds are you dropping? So one of your assignments this week is going to be taking the outline from the company and also from Marna's, the show ending 3 ways to get products. I want you to highlight every place that it talks about recruiting, because it doesn't just happen. It's about dropping seeds, but it's also about being simple and fun. One of my friends that has been a high recruiter she said she learned from her national, keep everything light and easy, not heavy. And that is just have fun, make sure everybody's having fun. Because if you make your show look easy, you're having fun, the guests are having their social time, but they're just having a great time, of course they're going to be attracted to it. Okay? So one of the other things this Mary said is show your host that your job is exciting, rewarding, and profitable. And she said she sometimes will just drop a note after her second coaching call with her and say, I would love to help you do what I do. I think you'd be amazing, and you'd be surprised at how easy it is to get started. And then letting her know that she's doing a great job as a host. And then she goes on to say, you did all the work. I love this. At the end, she says, how do you think the party went? Do you know what the hardest part was? And of course, the host is going to say what? And she says, it was the part that you did. All I did was turn up and have fun. It was great meeting your friends, and they seemed to love everything. But that's how party plans work. The host does most of the work, and we make the money. I think you'd love doing parties, and I'm sure just about everyone who came would book a party from you. So I think I just love that, how she turns it around, and because really our hosts do a lot of work. Who has hosted their own show? You do work a little bit harder, don't you? So our jobs are really pretty easy. So, I hope these sheets are going to help you all with your recruiting. Of course, we can go into more depth with them if you'd like, but go ahead and download some of these, put them into your binder, and I hope they're going to help you just stay more focused. Yes, Paula.
Claire, before you have everybody hang up, I just want to mention something that wasn't brought up, and I think it's something that maybe people haven't thought of in a while. We've got that great recruiting and booking slide. So if you're a virtual consultant, why don't you do your own quick little video or go live on your virtual parties and just stand in front and flip down and say, I don't know if anyone's ever thought about doing what I'm doing, but look at some of the benefits. And within 60 seconds, you can go through that whole slide. So you can do it for bookings for your virtual parties or your live parties, and for your virtual parties, you can do a video. If you don't want to do a video, you could take a picture of each one of the slides, and then on different days, post one of the pictures and say, here's another perk of, working with Pampered Chef, or here's another perk of working with Pampered Chef, or whatever words you want to use. So I think that's really important, Claire.
I love it.
With this week being talking about recruiting, I just want to remind you that if any of you want to be on Wednesday night from 7:30 to 8, the Brockner organization is doing a Taste of Pampered Chef. If you want to have Claire add you to it's a group, and you can add any possible recruits to follow along. And the posts are on always until Sunday night. So I don't know, Claire, if anyone would like to do that, but with this being recruiting week, maybe you'd like to have add your team members on there unless you're already doing that yourself.
No, I love it. Thank you for inviting us.
Yeah. And the last thing, Claire, is if you did not have them, like Sarah said, Grace Bott has got that 12-minute. That really made an impact with a lot of people on my team.
So I will repost that, and that will be part of your homework for this week. So
Yeah.
going through the script and highlighting the seeds, and then going and listening to, in fact, we have Grace Bott, and then we also have Kelly Smith talking about what Karen had shared when she was at our house once. So it's kind of funny how everything kind of comes full circle.
Yeah.
It's really
Great.
funny. So I appreciate all of you staying on, and good luck this week. I want you to share your heart out. Remember, they get the stone when the Rock when they get started. So this is a great week to be sharing, and we have a Share the Love board for us with little gem hearts. So let's see what we can add. So next week, I want to hear big numbers. Let's share our hearts out. Thank you. And and those in the director bound, hang on, and then we'll get started with that in just a second. All right. So who then